Hi, Linda. How you doing? So I got your portfolio up, and I see that you've changed your logo or your branding presentation, and I think that's a good idea. I don't know if this is necessarily your solution. However, you're showing that you understand what I was saying about the other graphic, kind of branding you and corralling you in a way that might not be the most beneficial thing to someone who is freshly graduating and entering the hiring arena, as it were, in design. So I'm glad that made sense to you because it's really really important, and this is much better. It's much more objective, and it's concentrating on saying I'm Linda, and this is my work instead of saying I'm Linda and this is my work and this is what you can expect from me by the illustration of the dragon. So good job here. I think that in terms of the way you've got this worded, just stick with graphic design. You can cut the S from that. That would be pretty much expected, and that's how it's referred to in the business. It's not really referred to as graphic designs. It's referred to as graphic design. The plural is a given. So, oh, real quick, 42 pages is pretty long for a portfolio. Just so you know, let's try to get it under 20, and let's see what we can do to maybe cut some of the pages. So what I do want to say is that you've got this. This is good. This is good, and it remains consistent throughout. But I want you to notice something. It's a good idea to anchor this, but if you use a master page in InDesign, you can see. I want you just to focus on the placement of your graphic. It looks like it's been placed individually on each page as opposed to placing it in a master page and using the master page to create your layouts. Let me show you what I mean. Watch the logo and the associated text. See how it jumps around the page? So that should not move at all, okay? But I do want to say that you've got a wonderful opportunity here to say, okay, I'm looking at your page and I'm saying, okay, this is a poster design. So we've got a horizontally oriented page with a vertically oriented piece. How is this designer going to handle the layout? And I don't think dead center is the optimal way to do that. There's a couple of different things you can do to enhance the presentation. Some students would elect to take this. Okay, so let's say this right here is your permanent playing area. Let's say like that. Okay, and that's where you're going to show all of your work. So some students would take this piece here and move it over, and then maybe take 3 equal size squares and present maybe a close-up of the typography, a close-up of some of the finer details of the artwork, or maybe even a sketch or something alluding to the process. Okay? This piece, again, looks good, book cover. Everything's in the right spot. I don't recommend using a traditional serif typeface. I think something more conventional, contemporary, by way of a sans serif, maybe a geometric. I'm not going to give you any examples, but I think that something maybe like this typeface here would be a little bit more contemporary. It's just a little blocky and a little heavy using the serif typeface. It kind of anchors that page a little too much. I don't think you need to show your fold lines in the book cover. I think that's a given. Typically in book design, you wouldn't mimic that vertical object on the vertical spine. Typically what you would do is reorient the typography for the spine, and you would turn that and anchor it this way. So it's you're just rotating the title on its axis. So you don't have this sitting on the bookshelf looking at you. You have more of this on its axis. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? It's a lot easier to pick out the book on the bookshelf when the title is presented as such. Okay, moving forward, what do we have? We have outside a brochure design. Okay, this, I wouldn't recommend this as the outside of a brochure design because there's no branding here at all. And if I were the client, and think about it, Burpee as your client would say, wait a second, this is our brochure. Where's our logo? Where's our name? Where's our information? So I would recommend putting the appropriate information on the outside of the brochure. The inside of the brochure looks very good. Very good. I would recommend making a decision here. Either bleed or don't bleed, but don't bring your images right up to the edge of the page margin of the page. Typically your margins here are really super close to the page edge. You're going to want to give yourself a little bit of breathing room in there. Okay, this piece looks good. Again, think about an alternative layout as opposed to dead center. The idea about the 3 or the 2 or whatever other kind of layout you would want to make it interesting. I don't think you need to go 2 pages on this menu. I mean, basically what we need to see is the cover and the inside. So you don't have to. You can put this on 1 page. That would cut out a page too. Magazine spread. Good. Okay, your direct mail piece. My first question is, where does the label go and the stamp? So think about that moving forward. CD package. Is that, this is definitely not the size of a CD package. You want to check that. That looks like it's a little bit too rectangular and it needs to be a little more square. I know I've designed so many hundreds of these. I can look at it and tell. So you want to check your size on that. Oh, looks like you already did. My bad. I'm sorry. This must be some. I'm so sorry about that. It looks like you already did. So if you printed it out and it fits, then it fits. What am I talking about, right? This looks awesome. Nice product shot. Little tip on product shot. Good setup. Really nice job setting up the background. Let's zoom out a little bit and give yourself some breathing room. Everything is cutting into the margins. So, show a little bit of background just to give the viewer a little bit of ease, visual ease, so that we're not right on top of that. That looks good. I don't know. I would present that all the way on that angle there. I would bring that more in a traditional, like this. It's not as fun and it's not as wacky, no, but it is traditional and it will be expected to be seen like that by a lot of folks who are going to be looking at your portfolio. This looks really good. I think this was a great idea, filling this with product. You'd be surprised how many students don't. I mean, you'd be surprised how many students set up their POP empty and break all the rules of marketing, as it were. So good job here. Hey, you can take this right out of this background and Photoshop it on a counter in a store, in an actual product shot. I'd say this would be 3/4 view would be your best attempt at that, or even watch your, work with your scale and see how you can work it. Great production file. Really nice job. Nice job there. Let's key in on that. Let's get a little bit closer into there and let's see if we can't maybe stretch that 2 pages, because we just can't see this. Either that or let's get this spread out and use your whole area to present. I've noticed that a lot, and this is the 3rd time. So it's the 3rd time I've noticed it and mentioned it. So it's there. So think about those big blank white spaces on the side. This is good shot. Good job. Beautiful work. And this looks great. I mean, this is what we need to see. I mean, so many students are embellishing with whistles and bells, and this is all we need to see. We just need to see your work. Thumbnails process book. I don't recommend superimposing image over image. It's muddying up the work. It's really, really causing some pretty uncomfortable visual tension. So just show that once. It's a beautiful piece. Why not show it off? Excellent. This looks good. I would recommend here, moving forward, I would recommend turning the bottom of this into, just follow that 2-column grid. You've already got it set up, might as well follow it. These lines are too long. We've talked about this, and it's a good job replacing those images. Okay, so you changed, okay, I see what you did. You changed the orientation of the poster. That's fine. And your electives look great. So, awesome job. Watch your watch your citations, credits. You've got a lot here that needs to be credited. And I'm talking about like every image you used. And even if they're free images, you still have to credit them. And when you do credit them in your portfolio, use APA or MLA formatting. That will be expected. And anything less than that might look not good. Like you're not paying attention to citations, and that's really, really important. So let me show you stuff that needs to be cited. Let's just jump right up back here, and we would say that's your work, that's all your work. That image, those images, I think you did cite those. That's your work. Wow, that image, I think you got that. That's I guess I might stand corrected here. This is mostly your work. As a matter of fact, it is. Oh, those images definitely all have to be cited. So does that background image there, that background image there, that image, that image. Boy, I hate to do it to you, but you got to get sources for these images for the players. Technically, everything that is not yours should be cited in APA or MLA format. So anyway, there we have it. Sorry this took so long, but great job. Wanted to get you a nice, good, complete critique before we cease as a class. So, and here we are. We're done. Good job, Linda. Great job. I've enjoyed having you in class. Keep my contact information and use it if you need it. I certainly don't mind. Thanks, Linda.